Namaskaram girls. Till now we have learned exchange rate. What is exchange rate? And determinants of exchange rate. Isn't it? Equilibrium. Today we are going to write type of exchange rate system. What are the types of exchange rate system? There are two types. One is fixed, the another one is floating. First one is fixed and the second one is floating rate system. The word itself gives you the meaning, isn't it girls? Will you be able to understand what is fixed and what is floating? Fixed rate means countries, they follow the fixed exchange rate or pegged exchange rate. Floating or flexible. The another name is flexible here. Some countries, they followed a fixed exchange rate system, and they are agreed to keep their currency at the fixed rate determined by the government. So, some countries, they are willing to fix the exchange rate at a point with the help of the government. How they fix the rate? They fixed the rate with the help of the gold standard. There should be something to value, isn't it? So under the gold standard, the value of currency was fixed in the terms of gold. So under the fixed system, they fix the currency value under the gold standard. The other name is pegged. Second one is flexible, floating or flexible. Based on the demand and supply of the currency, the exchange rate will be fixed. That is flexible. Fixed rate is, though the demand and supply does not determine this, the gold standard only determine the value of currency. In the floating or flexible system, the supply of and the demand for the foreign currencies determine the exchange rate of the currency. That is called flexible. So there are two types of exchange rate system. One is fixed, the another one is flexible. And then now we are going to see the types of exchange rate. First one is type of exchange rate system. This is types of exchange rate. Here we have four types. First one is nominal exchange rate. Second one is real exchange rate. Third one is the branch of nominal effective exchange rate. Fourth one is the branch of second one, real effective exchange rate. So there are four types of exchange rates. One is nominal exchange rate. Second one is real exchange rate. Third one is nominal effective exchange rate. Fourth one is real effective exchange rate. Let me tell you what is nominal exchange rate. Nominal exchange rate is nothing but the exchange value of the bilateral nominal exchange rate. That means two countries exchange rate. For example, if $1 is rupees 75 means this is nominal. That is 75 by 1 is equal to 75. the rate of other currency by the currency of our country. This is nominal exchange rate. That is bilateral exchange rate. ஒரு countryயோட currency இன்னொரு countryக்கு எவ்வளவுக்கு நம்ம exchange பண்றோம் அப்படின்னு பேசுறது. Nominal, mere. Real exchange rate, it talks about the purchasing power party. This already I taught you. Purchasing power party நான் சொல்லி கொடுத்திருக்கேன். For example, triple P, purchasing power party படிப்போம், purchasing power படிக்கிறோம். How we get from the money, that is purchasing power. Purchasing power party னு வரும்போது how the one currencies, with the help of one currency's value, how much of good we are buying, that is purchasing power party. That also I told you. The pizzas are the food of Italy. In India, if you buy pizzas, it will be costly, expensive. Pizzas are expensive in India. But as it is a home product of Italy, cost is low. So, if you want to buy more pizza, if you want to eat more pizza, if you live in Italy, you will get the purchasing power more. That is purchasing power party. So, with the help of the currency, one country's currency, how much we are getting from other country's product, that is purchasing power party. So, the real exchange rate, how we have to calculate? There is a formula for real exchange rate. Real exchange rate is equal to here E refers to nominal exchange rate. That is what we are fixing. PF refers to the price of foreign currency. This P refers to price of Indian or home currency. So through this calculation, we can calculate what is the real exchange rate. For example, as I said first, $1 is equal to 75. Then how will you calculate this? How will you calculate, ma'am? And if a pen costs 50 in India, it costs $5 in US dollar in India, in US, isn't it? If a pen costs ₹50 in India, it costs 5 in the US dollar. How will you calculate the real exchange rate? They have given the sum. So how will you calculate real exchange rate? Nominal rate. The nominal rate is 75, I told, isn't it? Into price of the foreign currency, PF, I told. Price of the foreign currency. What is the price of the foreign currency? 5. By price of the Indian currency, cost 50. Do you understand, girls? So, $7.5. So, if the real exchange rate is equal to 1, the currencies are purchasing power party. Now we told Indian cost we have given. India, if it is cost 50, if it is cost 5 in US dollar, we have given this. At the same time, in US, the pen cost 0.66. Then what is real exchange rate? We are going to calculate for US. US ku real exchange rate paaka porom. So the nominal rate evlavu 0.66. அவங்களுக்கு நம்ம foreign country, so India உடைய rate by அவங்களுடைய rate எவ்வளவு 50. Isn't it? So what would be the answer? The answer will be 0.99 or nearly equal to 1 rupee. So Indian value ku 1 rupee. So India la ulla indha rate US la indha rate equal purchasing power parity. If a pen cost 0.66 cents, if they sell the product in US at 0.66, then our cost is 0.99, then it will be equal. The both countries have the equal purchasing power parity. And then the third one, nominal effective exchange rate. This is called NEER, N-E-E-R. How will you calculate? So it is not given in your book. How they calculate the NEER? It is an unadjusted weighted average rate at one country's currency exchange for a basket of multiple currencies. So India உடைய ஒரு currency, that is rupee ki multiple currencies, that is dollar, euro, yen, all together. How we are going to purchase for ஒரு Indian rupee ki what is the value of dollar, what is the value of euro, what is the value of yen, everything. If we calculate a basket of multiple currencies, then it is called NEER. So it is an indicator of a country's international competitiveness in terms of the foreign exchange market. So ஒரு basket of currency ki Indian currency oda refer panna, it tells the international competitiveness. Indian rupee dollar la பார்த்தா 70, euro la Japan la இதெல்லாம் கூட வரும், euro ஒரு ரேட் வரும், yen ஒரு ரேட் வரும், US UAE countries la ஒரு ரேட் வரும். So it shows the competitive, which country has the more exchange rate for the Indian rupee அப்படிங்கற competitiveness வரும். So that is effective exchange rate. So it talks an unadjusted weighted average rate which one country's currency exchange for a basket of multiple foreign currencies. This is NEER. What is REER? R-E-E-R. Real effective exchange rate. R-E-E-R. What is REER? If you know the value of NEER with plus inflation of the home country besides REER. Do you understand, girl? The weighted average of a country's currency in an index to the relation of other currency we have studied. So, how will you calculate? It is an weighted index which also includes a domestic inflation in various economy. So, it is a weighted average of a country's currency in relation to an index or a basket of other major currencies. The weight are determined by the comparing the relative trade balance of a country's currency against each country's within an index. So, the amount of domestic currency needed to purchase foreign currency is need. It may be adjusted to be compensate the inflation rate of the home country relative to the inflation rate of the trading partners is REER. Do you understand, girls? What is NEER and REER? NEER is amount needed to purchase foreign country. Foreign currency. REER is along with this what we need to compensate the inflation rate of the home country related to the inflation rate of the trading partners. So, the inflation of our country plus with whom we are going to trade, that also included in the real. It is not given in your book. I will give you the definition separately. Just to note down at the back side of your book. Okay, girls. So, these are four types of exchange rates. And then we are going to study the determinants of exchange rate. What are the things determines? What are the things determines the exchange rate? First one is differential inflations. Differential in inflation. Do you know what is an inflation, isn't it? Inflation is the steady price increase. Increase in the price level. Steady increase in the price level is called inflation. That we already studied. So, increase in the price is called inflation. How inflation determines the exchange rate? Inflation and exchange rates are inversely related. What do you mean by that? If the price rise, exchange rate comes down. Why, girls? What is the difference between this? Why they have given inversely related? Do you understand why and how? If the price is high, what do you mean by that? The supply of money is more. Then the value of money less. So, the exchange rate also goes down. So, inflation and exchange rates are inversely related. A country with constantly lower inflation rate exhibits a rising currency value as its purchasing power increases relative to other currency. This we can know, isn't it? If the price increase, the supply of the money increase, the value of the money goes down. Then the exchange rate also goes down. So, the value of the money determines the exchange rate. So, inflation leads to decrease in the exchange rate, reduction in the exchange rate. And interest, differentiate in interest. There is a high degree of correlation between interest rate, inflation and exchange rate. Central bank can influence over both inflation and exchange rate by manipulating the interest rate. If the interest rate is high, it attracts the foreign investors. Then the exchange rate is high. The demand for the foreign currency will be high, then the exchange rate will be high. Automatically, if the interest rate is low, the foreign investment will be less and the exchange rate will be low. So, there is a positive correlation between interest and the exchange rate. Do you understand, girls? There is a negative relationship between inflation and exchange, and interest rate and inflation and exchange rate is positively related. And the current account deficit. This also yesterday I told. This current account is entirely different. What you are studying. The accountancy is different, I told, isn't it? So current account deficits. The current account deficit implies excess of payments over receipt, isn't it? What do you mean by deficit? Deficit is payment is greater than receipt. That is, expense is greater than income. So, if the expense is greater than income or the payment is greater than the receipt, the country has to borrow the capital from the foreign sources, isn't it? Already I have studied in the BOB. So, if there is a deficit, they have to borrow from the foreign country to balance this equilibrium. So, the demand for the foreign currency lowers our country's currency's value. அவங்க கடன் கொடுக்கணும்னு நினைச்சாங்கன்னா நம்மளுடைய கரன்சி வேல்யூ என்ன செஞ்சிருவாங்க, குறைச்சிருவாங்க. isn't it? our currency will not be valid. நம்மளுடைய கரன்சியோட வேல்யூ ஜாஸ்தியா இருந்தா அவங்க they won't give money, borrow கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. So நம்மளுடைய வேல்யூ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா நம்ம கரன்சி வேல்யூ என்ன ஆயிடும், குறைஞ்சிரும். If we are getting more money from the foreign country na, our currency value will be goes down. So the current account deficit also, the exchange rate will be goes down. And public debt, public debt is nothing but the government borrowing now. If the government borrowing is it will driving out the foreign investors, isn't it? Public debt நிறைய வந்ததுனா inflation ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும்டா. As a result, exchange rate will be lower. And terms of trade, the price index we studied. Terms of trade la we have studied the price index of the foreign currency by export, index price of the export by index price of value, price of the value of the index price by the value of the import price we have studied, isn't it? Terms of trade. So, if the price of the country's exports rise than the imports, the terms of trade will improve, isn't it? If the export is more, import is less, it is favorable terms of trade. I already taught you. If there is more export, less import, it is favorable terms of trade. So, it implies a greater demand for the country's exports and thus BOB becomes favorable. இப்போ நம்மளுடைய கண்ட்ரியுடைய எக்ஸ்போர்ட் ஜாஸ்தியானா the need for our currency in the foreign countries increases. Do you understand? நம்மளுடைய நாட்டுடைய எக்ஸ்போர்ட் ஜாஸ்தி ஆச்சுன்னா various country they will import our goods இல்லையா? நம்ம எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா நிறைய நாடுகளுக்கு நம்ம எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்றோம். They are importing the goods from us. They have to do the payment for us. If we need payment in our Indian rupee, the demand for Indian rupee rises in the foreign country. It raises the exchange rate. And then political economic stability. Political and economic stability. The political is stable, economic is good. The currency value will be appreciated and attracting more foreign capital. It is natural, isn't it? Stable, correct. நல்ல கான்ஸ்டன்ட்டா இருக்கக்கூடிய political party இருக்குறாங்க. They are doing good. The economic growth is very good in that particular nation. அப்படினா all the foreigners, they are ready to invest in the particular country. So the exchange rate will be improved. Recession, one of the phases of trade cycle, isn't it? So interest rates are low during the recession phase. This already we have studied. So it will decrease the inflow of foreign capital. If the interest rate is low, the foreigners they will not do any investments. So the currency will be depreciated against other currency. Then the exchange rate will be lower. So during the recession period, the interest rate will be low. So there will be no foreign investment. So there is a less reduction in the exchange rate. And speculation. What do you mean by speculation? This also you have studied in commerce. Speculation. If a country's currency value is expected to rise, isn't it? நம்ம ஒரு நாட்டுடைய exchange rate கூடுது அப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சா the demand for that particular currency will rise. So there will be a demand for that currency to make profit. So this result in the appreciation of exchange rate. Besides, the above determines relative dominance in the global politics and the power to announce economic sanctions over other countries and also determines the exchange rate. So if they think that rate of exchange rate or the value of some current country's currency will be raised, they will like to buy more. On the other hand, it also talks about the global politics, isn't it? There should be a staple in the global level. Only then it will be applicable. So we have studied the determinants of exchange rate by the differentials in inflations, differential in interest rate, current account deficit, public debt, terms of trade, political economic stability and recession, and also the speculation. The next one, in this chapter, in the exchange rate, I already used the word foreign investment, foreign investors, isn't it? So the next topic is foreign direct investment and trade.